Okay, that looks good. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Click a few more buttons over here. Hi, Judd. Waiting for this to load. Okay. There we go. I always have a separate instance that on my stream. It always likes to turn on after the stream starts, and then it starts playing audio, so I gotta quickly go over there and turn it off. Okay. Well, welcome, Jed. How you doing? Just that thing over here. Okay. I'm doing okay. A little tired. It's been a week. Feels like it's been more than a week. Hi, Dakota. Welcome, welcome. I think the music's kind of low, but it's really loud in my ears. It's kind of. I guess I turned it down way far. I could turn it up just a little bit. At least so it's more closer to each other. More accurate. Oh, yeah. Stream Elements, welcome. I guess good to see you too, robot. Okay. Beep boop. We'll get started in just a couple seconds. You good? Good to hear. Alright. Yeah, I've been scrambling to get everything done here, or at least get to a point where I can get this project done, hopefully by tomorrow. So wish me luck on that. Boop 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 boop. Let's see if I turn that down. Just want to make all the audio sound good enough. So hard to tell. Anyway, let me know if I need to mix with the audio anymore. Otherwise, I'll just keep going here. But yeah, welcome, welcome. Yeah. So welcome, Jared. Hi, Dakota. Stream Elements. Cartoons. Welcome, welcome, cartoons. To Mom, happy birthday. Happy Mom's Day. That's better. Yeah. Unfortunately, she's at a meeting right now, so she's not available at this specific time. But yeah, in a couple hours she'll be back. So it's just like, yeah. So she's not here right now. But yeah, well, thank you so much. So yeah, I'll be making a little secret project, I guess, for her during this stream for her instead. Yeah, so I've already got like a whole bunch of stuff done. Obviously, I got all this sorts of all the characters and backgrounds and stuff set up. So, and I got most of the music going. I'm making original music as well, so I'll go into that in a bit. I don't know why I'm just so, with this music stuff. See, it's way down there and it's still really loud. Yeah, happy early Mother's Day, or I guess belated for some countries apparently. I didn't know that, so yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna go by the American the 14th day for that. Just have enough time to actually finish this. But yeah, basically I just got the layout, so there's no animation yet. None of them do anything yet. Basically everything's set up for me, so now I can jump in and work on it. But before I get into too much of here stuff, I do have the music stuff I want to go over. So I wrote this. It's gonna be quiet, but it is what it is. Because I'm gonna mute this music, so I can focus on this original music that I wrote literally a couple hours ago. So we'll see how loud it is and let me know. Yeah, you get the point there. Yeah, I made it so that it can repeat pretty well. Took a bit to figure out what kind of voices I want, what kind of instruments. But yeah, I made this through different steps. I think I just had like a temp piano track on the first right through, and had all the melody just be piano, and then just chose a couple different. They're all honestly super basic melodies. If I go into the piano, it's just like D D, G, G G, and then A A. So I think that's some nursery rhyme or something. And then some nice chord here where it's a F, E, D. If I probably put this on a C, that might be more standard. And I think it creates a little bit more of a character by having it be not exactly a full thing. Yeah, that sounds better, but I think just by having that little bit of a off makes it a little bit. Create that tiny little bit of a spice onto it. Yeah, I can dissect dissect the music that is really just super simple patterns. I'm really actually proud of this bass line. I think I I had another song that I was working on earlier for a different project, and I had like a I want to call on twos beats on just a bunch of different measures where it would do beat, rest, beat, rest, beat, rest. But then I would have it kind of articulate and kind of go up and down the scale. So it'd be like one note and then take the next measure bar and then like move everything up one peg. And then just kind of go chromatically going up and down. But just doing like beat, 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 beat was a bit robotic. So I eventually just found, I don't remember where I exactly found it, but by adding a nice little grace note between it, the kind of like beat, beat, get this like eighth note, and then that kind of slides us down so we can get beat, 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 beat. So it kind of make this like little transition between each of these two bars. So if you listen to it, gets that kind of nice 50s diner kind of whatever kind of jukebox kind of style kind of bass to it, where it goes do 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 kind of a thing. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. Let's see. IT hole. Why Toon Boom? Why not? If you can be more specific, I'm not sure exactly like why did I choose Toon Boom. This program right now is a MuseScore that I'm working with right now. So yeah, this right now is not Toon Boom. I'll eventually go back and work on Toon Boom here with all this animation stuff. But I choose Toon Boom because I like it. I like it way better than Flash. I'm like kind of been holding off on going back into the movie in some way just because I hate going back into. I just know that I'll have to animate back in Flash again. I'm just like so scared, so I've been working on these other projects instead. So, yeah, that's what we got with this so far. I can do, yeah. Let's just solo out the bass line because I'm really happy with that. I know that in the final project you'll hear everything else with it, so it'll be mixed in the mix, you know. Yeah. So, yeah, I just made that today. So, I'm just gonna see whether or not I wanted to fix anything, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. I can always go back and yeah, I could like put this into a music file, then put it into the Toon Boom, and then if I need to change it, I can go back in here and play with anything. But I think I'm pretty happy with this structure, so I will go ahead and save this and export it. That will show my fun file explorers. I will hide that for a sec. And get some other music. This will be mixing the stream. Okay. Bubbles. Boop boop boop. Let's see. So I will export to, what should I do? Should I do MP3 or WAV or WAVE? Let's do WAVE, and then at a pretty high here. So I can put it onto my desktop at this point. And then I guess at this point I can also import it into Toon Boom, and then we can go from there. So yeah. It's exporting it right now. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with making the original music for Sunny's Dream. That was a lot of work, but thankfully I had like a motif that all the music in Sunny's Dream was basically the same melody, but I kind of tweaked it with different instruments and different a little bit of a different style. Like some of them had swing accents to them. So instead of a do do do, it was like do 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 kind of a thing instead. Okay. So this should work. If I do music, sound, repeat. Ooh, that's fun. That's new. Probably should have tested this to see if this works. Look at it go. It's stuck. Interesting. Oh, there we go. It just got stuck on the repeat. Okay. So what I need to do is set it to be 30 frames later. So I can take this and then set it to be at frame 30. I want it to start. This is some crazy Toon Boom stuff, don't have to worry about it, but it has automatic lip sync if you wanted to do that. But yeah, basically this should now start 30 frames later. So basically we have it in there, so. Okay. So, how we can get into this mess of what all this Toon Boom stuff is now. Let's see. That's only is 12 is which how about Pip and Hutch? Pip I think is a rarity, but it's like a modern rarity kind of thing, and then Hitch is more like a Fluttershy Applejack. I kind of go into it in my art book, which you can you can download my art book, which is part of my goodie bag, which is part of my Sunny's Dream 1.0.2 update. Whoops, segue into, if you like to buy the goodie bag, it will be in this link. There we go. Yeah, check that out if you want. There's new character, new routes, new endings, general updates. The download side is much smaller, so it'll take up less hard drive space for you. Other fun stuff, and you can check out what the goodie bag has: art book, walkthrough, all the music, all the sheet music for the music. Yeah, I think that's all I got, but yeah. So what I did last night in here We'll set this up. Made these characters last night, all 3 of them. It was a lot. So Green Heaven is looking this way. I will turn off her cutie mark. So these all use the same puppet rig. It's hard to explain. They're all recolors of one puppet style, so I didn't have to like create each one from scratch. All I had to do was simply change out the hairstyle and get the colors right, and then all of them have the same sort of squibble little bubbles I can do. Allow me to move things around or squish them. Have different controls for everything. So they can all do that. And they all have different sliders at the top, these master controllers. So I want to have her face forward. I want to change her body position and then get the wing flap, which I think might not work here, but that's fine. But pips work. I think I just gotta like reset the master controller stuff, but all these should work. Head works. Head and body is probably more important than getting the wings, because the wings are already kind of set up to be pretty easy to just swap out which pose of the wing I want it. If I want it to be downward, I can click that. So makes that simple. There you go. Let's see. And then I have a camera that's set up with the background being a little bit further behind so I can get some nice little parallax. This will be a YouTube short, so the video will be taller than wide. It's basically taking the whole widescreen aspect ratio and just putting it onto its side. So now it's upright. So I've rendered that. It'll look like that. So the little bubbles will go away, but obviously I need them so I can animate with them. Get all these little controls. So I want to click on the eye, I gotta click on the little bubble there. So I can move that over. This will be an eyebrow. This will be a cheek. And so forth. But yeah, they won't render. This is a preview of what it would like if I exported with the final, what you would see at the end. But for right now, I need to animate, so I need to be able to get all my fun little controls here and squish them down. I can squish her into Z space here. Hey, Cookie. So working on a Mother's Day video. I kind of explained that I got the puppets set up. I haven't really done anything yet, but I got the music imported. So, but that was pretty... It looks always complicated, but it's really only like 2 patterns basically going back and forth. But yeah, I would like to start storyboarding this. I think we got enough going on here. So it's like my main inspiration is going to be a Rhythm Heaven mini game. So it's all going to be to the beat, and then they're going to do a little Queen Haven is going to do a little training warm-up exercise or some sort of training for them. So it'll be like singing and like practicing and then like doing some flying as a practice. So should be like the maestro, and then like there will be like these little ha-ha-has will be Queen Haven, and then Pip and then Zip, or Zip and Pip. So and then they'll she'll be like lead and be like, follow me, do do do, follow me, do do do, sing, do do do, and then now let's fly, fly fly fly. So something like that. I've had so many ideas with this that's like I probably just want to get all the simple stuff out and get that to be as good as I can, and then if I have more time, hopefully later tonight, I might do some of the more, add some gags or other little Easter eggs or something for them. But for right now, let's set that up so we can get these all going. So let's see. So I will start to get some general storyboards for what I want, and then we'll go from there and see what happens as I start to click on some stuff. But yeah. We'll see what happens today. So yeah, welcome. And I was Mr. Vlogger. How am I doing? I'm doing okay. I'm ready to go. Roll, ready to roll. So I'll just get some very let's see. I need to push this a little further. I'll just make it like a stick figure version of her. But yeah, she was fun to make her little swirlies here. I also noticed that there was some continuity with her what do you even call it? It's a crown. That in some episodes it was like this purple color. But then I think in later episodes they like changed it to be like this green color. So I have both apparently. I just need to figure out what part of the timeline this is, because I think, I don't know. One way is that the crown was the element of harmony thing, where like the 3 tribes had one of each. So that would mean that if she still needs a crown, that means that she can't have the element of harmony because it's being used in the Bright House. So it's whatever's which isn't being used is then this one. So if you want to help me with that, I've been so behind on the lore of everything that I don't know which way is which is anymore. So yeah, what color would be the yeah, the gem thing? Let me know. Gem was placed with a fake. It's a fake emerald. Yeah, I think so. It's whatever which way is. Try to think that this would be. My thought was that this was gonna be her, in the past. So. Like I tried to make them look a little bit more like Phillies, or at least have. I was gonna have Pip like be a baby size, but maybe this is like. Yeah, because they met Sunny when everything was okay. Like they could still be adults, it's not like they left when they were babies or anything. So this can still work. Yeah, you guys can help me with the lore of it. Make sure I'm all correct with everything and all focus on animation. Okay. If it's in the past, then it would be the original. That makes sense. Okay. But which way color the original was, I'm not sure on that. So, let's see. There we go. It was fun to simplify these designs to like the point that it's like, okay. It's like, oh wait, am I done drawing? It's like, oh, that's all I had to do was make these little olive literally just a circle, and then these little speckies literally just be little shapes. Like really getting it down into like the most basics of shapes there was it's a really challenge, because like you get these, you look at the references of like how detailed like the 3D models are, and then it's like, hey, can you try and get it so it looks coherent with this style, if I take the hair off, like how complicated all this stuff is, and it's like, oh, I gotta really pick and choose like what would be show that it's make it look like the horse, but then also have just enough but not over enough that then it becomes it's some sort of art style that I've got pretty good at it of figuring out like where to choose. Like I want this to be a certain shape and then some graphic style and stuff, but still have it be detailed enough that you're just still able to tell at some point. So it's picking and choosing. So yeah. So now if I want to, I could put these guys. Nah, I mean, maybe. At least it'll make this somewhat easier to maintain. Just thinking of whether or not I want to put them into its own. Come on, noodle. Put them into their own composite here. It's just so I can click on that one block here. If I want to hide all of these at the same time, I'll be able to then select them all at the same time and just do that. They would only not render if I unnoodle them from here, from the main composite. So I can have as many chains and stuff as long as all the pip step goes into this composite and it all goes back out into this main composite. This is where it'll be rendered. So I can like turn it off and then they'll still render softly. Yeah. Let's see. Hey, Brony. Let's see. Can't wait for Mother's Day. Me too. But I'm trying my best to make this animation before then. So I'm gonna use as much time as I can today to set this all up for this animation here. So I can also see how long and really how long this animation is gonna be. I'm telling how long this song is that I got. So it's about 20 seconds. So 20 times 24, I guess is. That does make sense why it's 500 then. Plus 30. So what is that? 24 times 20 seconds plus 30 is 510. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Where did it start there? I want to start from. Why does it get stuck at the beginning? What? It's just going. Okay. I want to set the. That's why. Because my actual render time needs to be there. That works. Okay. See how many layers there are to layers? Is that there's. That's the full spectrum. Is this red bar here, and then there's this tiny little ribbon here that tells how long the scene will be, which is weirdly needs to just be. It just basically needs to be longer than this bracket here. As long as that keeps going. So there. Obviously now everything is not visible. So I need to just make sure everything's here for as long as possible. We don't have a background. But I can turn these guys back on. And see that they disappear after a while. Yeah, about there. Let's see. Yeah, it's an attempt as my grandma's birthday. Ah, she's Mexico. Oh, awesome. Well, happy birthday to your grandma. That's cool. I didn't know that that'll be just a somewhat of a coincidence, I guess. Because obviously they'll be. Oh no, well, the American one is whatever the Sunday is, so Mother's Day has to be on a Sunday. Does Mexico have to be? Is it like always the 10th then? Would you be able to predict it? A lot of our American stuff is. Oh, it's the 3rd week in November. It's the it's the whatever Friday, after Thanksgiving, you know. And it's like, oh, okay, sure. I wonder what day this holiday will be this year, you know. Can't really tell then. She's like a sad elf. But we should be able to see that everything exists for as long as permitted. Okay, cool. Let's get in here. It's gonna get a little confusing as these are gonna be different volumes, so unfortunately. There we go. Yeah, I'll just play it. Let's see. Don't want to touch too much, but hola, welcome. Hi, Cesar. Oh, that's done. Yeah, welcome. Let's see. I will start to storyboard this now. So I gave it a couple different drawings just to help me out and help me pose these. This will be pretty much... I kept going back and forth for how I want to animate this, because I want to have them like animate to like the beat, or like have them kind of squish down like this and be like da 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 da. That's like a waltz, but da 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 on like every beat. So I had different methods that I'm thinking about. Like I could have to actually animate it. Like I could have just like one beat animation and then like try to repeat that over and over, or make that into a master slider and then try and copy paste that over and over. It's, yeah, I've just been been fuddled on how to actually go about this, because I want to have them like have some sort of motion, because I think some rhythm heaven games actually have the characters, like some of them actually are just like still, and then it only like animates for like further specific motions, and then others are like always like going to the beat where they're da 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 da, or like they're more dancing the whole time. Or I could select all these because I want to make something like this. A little bit less squishy, but there you go. You can kind of, yeah, I'm gonna make this and then have some different I'll just have some markers. Does it start? Let me just check. Yeah, so fortunately they do have to start, because I have to first beat literally there. If I change too much now, okay. This might be where I want to change things. Is that, just trying to think that if logistically I probably want to have them be still for a measure and then get into it. But then if I do that, then it would be still for a measure, and then I'm not sure about that, because I would have the do 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 do, and then yeah, there's no like build up into like do da into a pose. It'll be just like they're in a pose, da da da. But that could be like a nice intro though. It'll be a repeating one. There's being like another loop. So I made this music today, so I'm just trying to figure out if there is anything else I want to fix about it. So it's pretty. I guess I'll go with it and then later on fix it. But that would mean I'll have to fix Got to have a new picture already for her to be in her. Because you would already. Oh, okay. She got split up. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Brony. See you too. Yep, next Saturday will be, hopefully, the Mario Odyssey finale with my mom. So, yeah, look out for that. Thank you so much. Alright, see ya. Okay. I could just have a couple different poses for her, and then... Does that say singing? Should we need to... Yeah, I gotta turn off. This would be too confusing. With that music going on. Okay. I do need to go to the beat, so I do need to have at least something of this going on. So sorry if this is gonna get weirdly quiet, but it's like I have to work to the music with this music particular, so I can't really have that other music going at the same time. So okay. Yeah, let's just work with this music instead. I don't know why it's quiet. I can go into an Audition. I can go into Adobe Audition, like boost it up, but I don't know how much I can really play with this, because I don't think... Oh, look, volume. If I turn this up, that might maybe work. A little bit. So then zip. We'll have her. Looks like I can cut you onto line, just make everything simpler for that. And then zip's waiting, and then new picture, and then we'll get her into the same singing pose. So one of the jokes was that it was gonna be like Pip is gonna be the worst at it, and she'd be like the analog for like the player. So it'd be like do do do, like follow me, like do do do, and so in Rhythm Heaven you would play as one character, and then you would kind of follow the beat and follow the leader between like the different rhythms. So like the first one might be like a do do, and then the second person will be like, oh okay, do do, and then in time it'll just be like one phrase of it being real time, and then like, oh, you have to go like, oh okay, and then do that same like do do, press the buttons at the right time kind of a thing. So I can kind of figure out, I can always play with these, but at least I can, yeah, just get this going here. Yeah, so the joke was that she was going to be bad at most of this. So I can go back into like the music and like make this into like a sharp or something like this or something. So you get this disharmony kind of thing instead. But obviously I wanted like a clean slate for right now, and then I can then go back in and pick and choose later on once I figure out the story part of it. So there's a lot of going back and forth of trying to figure out what exactly I want to do. Like neither of them are really dictating, you know, everything. They're kind of working in harmony with what's going on. She got small. Pip got very small. I can make her very small. She's right there. Yeah, let's turn characters off. is what we got so far. It's lagging right at the moment, so... I just can't figure out that timing. I think this needs to be sooner. And then this is the harp part, where there's a couple harps. So right after that, there's like a... As soon as that ends about there, I could listen to the drum beat as well to see where this starts. So I can kind of hear from there maybe. A lot of back and forth, but it's like it's just to set up where's what. So maybe about there, I can then set that up to be... And then here, now that we've transitioned back there, we can get the next pose. Actually, I do want that there. I want to cut this back out of here. Okay. And then... Okay, see you, Jed. Thank you. I want now to have the jumping, or the flying with style, falling. Okay, so what I want is to have them jump in the air. There's like 2 notes, so I can have them be, I can have like a, what do I want to do for the motion or the timing of it is that it can be like 2 jumps, or you're in the air and then you do something else. Maybe, because we can iterate on any of these as well later on. But yeah, just to set up the different tasks you'll be able to do. Usually in rhythm having you have like 2 different styles of rhythms, or 2 different, you know, things that can happen. So it's not just like press A at the right time. It's like you gotta pay attention and be like, okay, now the dolphin is spinning. That means you press it da da da. But now the dolphin is swimming. That means it's a do do do. You know, so it's a different kind of rhythm based on the events of what's happening. So that's what this is that you would just kind of press A in time with this going on, which has a different rhythm from this one, where you probably would press it twice, which would then probably mean that it would be 2 different motions or 2 different animations. So it probably would be maybe like a wing flap up, ha, you know. It doesn't have to be singing, because it could be a different type of expressions. It could just be a dance, basically. So it's like, yeah. But basically, was that it's Haven training Pip and Zev for the different, for singing and dancing. So it would have like singing and then the dancing of the wings. So for this part, I think I will probably, I'm just trying to see if there's anything else, but I think I'm probably going to go with the idea that they would just kind of fly up in 2 little quick, they would be at the apex, drop, and then each of them would then just be Haven, and then Zip, and then Pep, and then, yeah. I think that'll work. Let's try and make that happen. Okay, so. So at this point, probably that she needs to already be in the air. So I will get that going. Does that mean that the wing needs to be down actually? Which is slightly weird to think about, but raise her up. And then get rid of some of this. So like half odds beat here, she would be ready. So let's get her squished down. And then back into one of these. And then at this point back here. And then back there. And then back to rest. It keeps lagging. I wonder if there is a way. View might be like one way to make it simpler to look at. That's not it. Oh, it's okay. It's actually this over here. So let's do this point. So maybe, okay. So she will get back into regular here. And then get ready. Where's my ready? A little more lead time. I'm moving these over. Yeah, okay. It's as if I try to do this with the puppets, that might be a little bit more complex. So, because I would have to kind of go back and forth with all this timing stuff and then have like 100 different elements, thousands of elements to play with, rather than trying to move this one tiny block and like drawing to make sure that I can get this set up first. And then basically the same thing with zip and then pip, so yeah, we'll just kind of, hopefully I can zoom through this, but yeah, so how we doing? So I'm doing pretty good. This last week has been at work. They recognize that I'm a bit too far ahead usually with my work. So they've been saying like, oh, take it as a compliment that, you know, we would let you take a Friday off, you know. And it's like, is that what you want? You want to not work? And it's like, well, the type of work that I got, you know, is a bit much. And it's like, if I don't have the time to work on it, then it's like I have to then, you know, if I don't have a Friday, then I have to like rush on Monday to like catch up from where I was. So it's like, it's not as great as you'd think. Because now I gotta like do another whole day's worth, you know. And then anything else that came in, you know, that Monday morning as well. So it's like, it's not really great. I mean, I would probably prefer to just work every day, but because we're having some reorganization with our the company that I work with, we had 3 locations, and now then we lost one. Really like a long time ago, before I started. So then we had two locations, and then while I was working, we lost another one. So I was like, well, great. Now everyone that was in that second place is now moved into here. So there was a lady that was working at the front desk there that moved into our office now, and now she's has a different kind of commute now. And that means that now we gotta all kind of work together, literally. So it's a little jumbled, but we're somehow making it work. But it's definitely not the smoothest transition in the world. But yeah, we're making it work. And then pip. Let's see. So much work didn't. He said so much work that didn't get done. It's amazing. It's going to be part of. Meetings are not fun. Yeah. If you didn't go, it's called not team player. I can understand it to an extent, but yeah, because they kind of expect you to. It's like, oh well, you should be able to do all your work, even with if you have to do like hour-long meetings or something crazy. It's like, well, it's like you should be able to, manage your time and be able to do all of this. So they won't understand like how much work actually goes into work or whatever you're doing. So, and if you don't go into this team building thing of making sure that everyone's on the same page, then it becomes that sort of paradox where it's like, well, I'm trying to do it, but now I can't because I'm so I got lost in everything, so sorry. Yeah, usually our meetings at our work are pretty tame. It's more just trying to make sure that everyone's really understands and everyone's actually working, so yeah. Yep. Lost a line. And then that's pretty much it, really. Because then it kind of repeats the same sort of structure. At least animation-wise, I'll definitely like copy-paste it over and then see what I want to do differently. Because again, I want to have it be more fun by having different variations on it and have different fun things going on where I want Pip to succeed in doing the essentially the game press, the game, press a button at the right time, and then one where she doesn't, or smarter stuff happens, and then maybe like something in the background happens, and then something else. So, yeah. How long we've been going? About an hour. Okay. So now that I got this as a general structure for what I want, I can click on this button and then turn off the camera and see if there's anything I can possibly do to make this playback better. Yeah, because then it gets stuck. Yeah, now it's out of sync now. Yeah. And then if I try to scroll draw it, then it's gonna be really weird sounding. And then I gotta scroll. And then another singing, and then another jumping after that. So it's really only like, how long is this? I can see in the top how long this will be. Oh, you can't hear everything. MuseScore is weird. If you like click on one measure or one bar staff, you only can hear that. So you gotta like, if you want to get back to the beginning, you gotta click on which bar you want to be, click off it, and then you gotta start it so then you can hear the entire music. Eh. So it's about 10 seconds. I'm slightly faster than 120 BPM, just to make it a little bit more fun and interesting, but 120 actually is really nice and mathematically nice, seconds wise and time wise, because every beat, then every bar, four bars is like 2 seconds. That means 2 beats, 2 quarter beats is like 1 second, which means 1 quarter beat is about half a second. So this is slightly faster than that. So like every beat is now slightly faster than half a second, quarter second. I don't know. So whatever I said. So yeah. So what I did was that it's basically the exact same. So we can see the same do 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 and then do 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 is at the end here. But yeah, whether or not I want to extrapolate. I did it twice here because I wanted the baseline to be unique, and that the baseline goes on for the baseline takes a walk for wherever it wants to go with this bass guitar. Yeah, so like even that down here is a different measure than what its equal over here would be. So then this whole phrase itself can then be repeated like that. So but yeah, let's see. We could probably like animate 1 character or so today, and then on stream for the next hour or so, and then yeah, go from there. Because then I gotta animate the rest of it. But it should be fairly simple because it should be, again, just the same sort of premise, but then just kind of duplicate and then change it whatever I want. So I'm gonna do, or I guess, what would you guys want? Because I'm gonna work on Queen Haven because she's first in line. Heh. But yeah, I guess I was gonna put it to a vote or something, but I think it'll be easier no matter what to do her first. So I'm just setting everything up. Okay, the first I started at 30 frames because the first 30 of these frames are her puppet being set up. Is to expose every drawing. Because Toon Boom's fun is that if you try to put a character into your library, if you try to put them in here, then if you don't expose even one frame of that drawing, then it's gone basically. So I had to like set it up so that every single drawing substitution is exposed in here. So yeah. I guess I can turn this back on. Maybe, sure. Ah. God, this is complicated. Okay. Let's see. It's been 1 hour. Okay, thank you. Oh yeah, I don't have to wait, but see you soon, Cookie. I don't know why I'm waiting for that, but thank you. I should rely all the way back before it ends. These effects will only goes. Well, me too. Let's see here. Let me get that camera back on. Because I also want to do a little bit of camera work. Because this is a YouTube short, there's not much horizontal room, and because I got these in a row here, I want to be able to have the option now that I can have the camera kind of center on Queen, and then like I could have like as it goes from one kind of focuses on one character at a time, so I can have that kind of camera here kind of go whoop, ooh. I can be able to do that. So I have to do that as well. But yeah, for right now, let's just do. Let's just do Queen. And go from there. All right. So what I wanted to do was, one thing I wanted to do was just move this bunch of sliders down here so I can see it a little better. And then I want another peg so I can be able to move. So HSB Ah. How long was I muted? Oh, great. Well, I guess you can see what I was doing anyway. But yeah, mostly just mumbling to myself a lot of the time. Okay. Yeah, I was like, what? I looked over and it's like, oh no. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not sure how long that would have took me to notice that. But yeah, I've been fairly quiet anyway, so don't worry about that. It actually moves up. Let's do an opener mouth. And then she'll eventually close her mouth. And then get back into a let's see what that is, about 100. So let's do just to keep her moving. Just trying to slide her just a tiny bit there. Let's move that in time so that she can close her mouth. I'm just concentrating, I guess, right now. Let's see. I like to add, like, usually I do these on 2s and then, like, have some sort of small movement. And then if I want just a little bit more movement, I can have one thing kind of be slower, have it kind of go on for a little longer. So I'm having a hoof kind of move down a little bit longer for a longer, more period of time so that everything else kind of stops after the 3 dots down here. So there's 3 keyframes that have gone do do do, and then for one more do, I'm having the hoof go down for like one more. So it kind of creates this more. So it's not completely robotic where it just kind of stops immediately. Having at least one piece kind of continue the motion no matter what will get that from being completely static. So I want her to be here. I want her to be at this pose at this time. So I'll back up a few frames and then create a anticipation, a forward, and then so she'll kind of go backward a little bit, roll back, go too far forward, and then kind of go back up to like a more kind of squash and stretcher in a way. These kind of anticipations make it so that they don't have like falling inertia. It's like I'm gonna be whoop, blah, kind of a roll up. I'm gonna move. Watch me go, and then continue with that motion until we get back into more of a feeling back here. So we're gonna go back up, and then I'll just rotate it for now. So it's all about just kind of, with puppet animation, it's more just like making sure that the animation kind of has each element kind of follows through, and I kind of animate it one piece at a time until I get back to where I want it to be. Yeah, puppets animation is more just kind of going through each piece and making sure that they're all doing their thing. With frame by frame, you'd be doing more full on, like everything at once. Like I'd be doing like this pose, just like drawing it exactly how I want it to be. Next frame, do everything. But with puppets, I feel like it's more easier for me to kind of do the whole motion with one specific piece, go back, do the next piece, go back, and then go from there. So do a certain like little snippet, do a couple frames of animation, and then kind of pick out what piece I want to move next in this piece, in this section of animation, and then go from there. Just think from right there. Probably, I don't know if I want to remove the eyebrows, but think, yeah, I should probably need some. Not sure just what happened there. There we go. I think I deleted the eyebrow itself or something weird. Welcome back, Judd. Sorry. Yeah. Get this more flat kind of eyebrow instead. Yeah. Also wanted to get rid of that cutie mark, because the G5 likes to have it be on one side. So I gotta remove it. So if I just had it be literally start from like here, then it would be a little bit less weight than if it's like, ooh, a little bit more. We get this frame instead. If I would just kind of move her up. Am I moving her up? No. What does this do? Hang on. Oh, there we go. Move her up. No? Okay. Trying to move her. And then next part I want to move is her eyes. So I can kind of get these guys going. So if I kind of counter the motion with her eyes, it'll look like she's still focusing. Even though we're might be a bit too much, so I can delete it and just kind of move it a little bit slower. Because as your head moves, you want to, if you're still looking at something, even if your head moves, you're still focusing with your eyes. So I had her eyes kind of stayed in a relatively similar position. Like it didn't just kind of kept her eyes at the same position as if her head moved upward. Then she's not looking down at Pip and Zip, so purposely went through and made that happen. So they'll still be there, and they're getting ready. So, okay. Pretty happy with that. I mean, I can always go back through and really tidy this up, but I think for right now, I just need to make sure everything else is working. Get a clean, or get a rough pass, and then do a clean pass after that. And by that, I just mean like going through and just kind of getting the roughs of stuff, like how I only did like a couple of different pieces. Like I didn't play with the wings, I didn't play with the tail yet, but I could do the same thing like with, similar to how I did the eyes, where it just kind of counteract the motion that if one thing goes up, other thing goes down. That happens with a lot of different pieces, and a lot of called secondary animation, that if one thing, if head goes up, then hair goes down. If head goes down, then hair goes up. So you get this kind of reverse motions for everything, where you get this kind of motion to everything. But hi Night Shadow. What I got now is got this so far. Sorry. Got her singing, and then she'll go back down. Maybe for this one frame, it can like be that open her mouth again. Might be too much, so I will remove those frames. Yeah, all that kind of like anticipation and kind of over exaggerate before your keys, always love. That's kind of my mojo of what I like. And it helps a lot with this kind of, when everything's super simple and everything's kind of cartoony. I feel like if there's no weight to things, then it's like it's gonna be obviously not as impactful. So I gotta go through and like add these little tiny, these one frames and stuff to like make sure that I add that little bitness. So I probably would go through again, probably like animate everything through the whole sequence of everything, and then I'll go through and then work on these secondary animations. So if her head goes up or like rotates, then I'll be able to use this little hair piece and like rotate that, or maybe even play with the crown thing, or the tail, or the wings, or probably not this back hair. I don't think that might move too much. But now in some other characters, like Misty has a amulet kind of thing. I can show off this, that I put it onto a cutter. So the neck shape is dictating where the amulet can be seen from. I can reverse the mask and then show that it actually has more geometry than what's really seen here, because this actually goes up way farther. But if I move the amulet, you can see on the left side that it extends a little bit more. So I drew the artwork farther than was needed, basically, but it's basically being only shown through the neck. So I can do stuff like that now, where if I need to move, you know, have her rotate or kind of move to the front or something, maybe I can have like the neck kind of go down and then kind of show 3Dness by thing kind of moving his amulet and going, getting it closer to where the front amulet position would be, and just kind of going in between it to that size or position. It's like the front view, I got the same thing, where it's being hidden inside of the neck. And these little collar stuff are just kind of placed at the right position layer, depth layer, I guess. So yeah. And then immediately she'll start to jump. It's not flying, just kind of picking up her wings. Which I'll be able to use this little slider to be able to animate that. But yeah, so we'll do the same thing once we get to here. I storyboarded the anticipation, just so I knew about whence I need it. Yeah, let's get it going in here. Mic on? Okay. What I can do is kind of squish her down. Yeah, something like that. Do the same thing for eyes. So you move the whole eyebrow. Select eyebrow, select eyebrow. Probably should put some controllers on those, but oh well. Because of its style is basically just lines, so I was able to rig those eyebrows fairly simply. They're basically just line curves, which these Bezier curves are my bread and butter. I'm so used to. If I had to like draw, it's like actually kind of hard to get it as nice as I want. So I kind of default to stick figures for storyboards, and then spend a lot of time vectoring and making sure that my Bezier curves are as nice as possible. So yeah. So now we got this anticipation, and then we'll see. We need her up in the air. I can see about where, with onion skin, I can see about where she was. If I click this onion skin, I can just turn it down just a little bit. Oh, Night Shadow, did you have something for me to, anything? Or just say my name. The wing down. No. That. So wing down. Head up. Or maybe down. I can't tell. Maybe up. Yeah, because we're gonna. It's good to have some contrasting poses. So like, head, and you're like on your squish, her head's looking down. You can even go further down if you want. And then when she goes up, then her head goes up as well. So it's good to have these yin and yang kind of style of opposites are always good for animation, especially for posing and this kind of stuff where everything's too simple. That's like if you don't have any sort of opposites, and it just kind of becomes, you know, monotonous of like what kind of poses you're getting. So you gotta have some sort of beginning and ending that are distinct from each other. Best way to do that is to see which way one way is going And then on the next keyframe, have it be the opposite. So for here, I could have the amulet kind of in a different position. So we get this kind of hop now. Yeah. And there's not too many in-betweens yet. I haven't done in-betweens yet. So we'd have a keyframe basically here. And then we would have an in-between here where she's basically getting now into the green pose now. If that makes sense. Feel like I might need a new in-between. At least just kind of squish it down a little bit further. Might need here to start having her lean into it. And maybe instead of this being linear, I can have her closer to the next frame by pushing her up here. And so red is where she's on the ground, and then the next frame she's much closer to the green than the red now. So red is obviously behind, and then green's in the future. If I set it up this way, this means that the hop is now more instant, like it's more of a pop into her being closer up to being into the next pose, rather than kind of flip and being more linearly on a line. Something like that. So not too happy with this. Welcome back, Cookie. Doing the jump hop here. Using onion skin to see where I want this. I think I need my rotate position to be on her hip instead. Change to rotate on her butt. So there's always a thing of line of motion, arcs, and everything. So I'm seeing if there's anything I can do to kind of get some sort of arc in here. Because everything travels in an arc where nothing really goes from whoop, everything kind of goes in a more whoop or whoop, phew. Don't worry about it as I let go, as it changes. But yeah, nothing really goes in a nice line. Everything kind of goes in a woo kind of a shape. So I'm making sure that I kind of get that. So I might need to really push her because that's where she wants to be. That's better. And then a couple frames after that to kind of hold her in that pose until I need her on the back underground. So kind of have her kind of fly up there, then kind of glide down or something. Yeah, that'd be cool. So instead of a full wing flap, she would just kind of like have her wings open here, up, and then down, and then wait a bit, and then as she kind of travels down to get down to here, her wings could be back up, and then it can close back in, and then do it again. Okay. And then, just thinking that I'll have to do this for the other two characters, if I want to do any other alternates later on as well. That'll be fun. So, okay. So right now we can see that their body's not quite connected, so I could probably at least get that back up there. But now I know about the timing more closer. I can know that for here it needs to be down, so we can get it be, choose one of these. That means about here we can have it be up. So we get this. We can start it maybe like a frame earlier so we can see it. Might need to get rid of that kind of in between. Might not actually be useful. Yeah, it's more the poppy shape, poppy motion that I'm going for. Is that it needs to be more. It's that kind of like opposite motion that I'm looking for. Get that kind of motion into it. What also consults is the legs a little bit more. So when she goes into this pose, if I want to move some of these guys. Get something like that, yeah. And then move them back. And then see where this pose is, and then start to edge it into that pose. So it doesn't become too poppy of a motion. It's because we're leading into this motion. You see that? Get Razor's Reformer on the neck. And kind of just tilt. Kind of twist the neck. To then kind of follow. Where's the motion? As far as we got there. Well, I think I want to have her head be a little bit lower. See, it's not much of a difference vertically. I think I want to lower her head more. So you get more power that way into the thrust, like a foof, foof. So something like that. And if we do secondary animations like our hair again, then that'll really that'll do the trick to make it much more of a believable motion. Full complete package of everything. So I've only done like half of this motion so far. Just got her up into this pose. The rest of it is now getting there into back into where she was. And then we'll have to do it again. But hopefully that other time should be. Basically just need to do one. Yeah, just one of these. But I think for now I need to have her kind of glide for a little bit until I need her to be on the ground. So I can figure out again, like how I set her up of how long I need her to set up her getting into position, squat or squash. Figure out how long in the air she would be, because I need her to be on the ground here. So I can set her up to be back there. This would be her squash. Back into a position. I almost want to just take her whole pose from here. I'll go back, Jed. I can copy her animation, paste it here, and paste it here. So now we get that. So what I want is to which I want to remove a couple of these frames here. And so we already got pretty much our jump set up. So when we land, we want her to really feel the ground. It's gonna really actually, I don't want to move her head because I need it to be, so I can copy paste it from here. So that means I need this and this frame to be the same. So I need this and this frame to be the same, which they are. And then now just kind of filling in these missing gaps between all of these. I don't know why eyebrows I wanted to do first, but so I can remove these frames and then get it into, so I can have it be just lower and then slightly get into here, having it be up a little bit. So obviously this doesn't work because obviously we don't have this timing for these poses, but also because I want to make sure that she gets back into this pose from here. Is that I want her to feel like she's getting back into, sliding back into this pose. And so I need to have her whole body. This doesn't work because I want to have her head here. I basically need another copy of this frame. So let me... I want another copy of this frame, this pose here. So then I can do... I guess a settle, I can call it. Where she had her extreme, and now she's going the opposite way just for like a little bit. Just to have her kind of regain her balance a little bit. And we'll fix the foot positions later on. But for right now, I want this pose here to have her head like a little bit up. So it gives this kind of like nodding kind of animation or motion to her. And we can simplify that. Get the wing. Yeah, so a lot of this is just kind of like picking and choosing. Like, I want to work on this next, or maybe I can't right now. It's kind of like a little puzzle that's like, okay, I need to get, you know, this and this part going. You know, I need to move, you know, I need her to go across the stage, so I need to animate her entire body first, and then I can move her head, and then I can move her eyebrows, kind of a thing. So I'm just seeing... We're just kind of like figuring out like, okay, I moved this, you know, I animated this, so what can I move now? And so I can see that in these two frames, trying to drag this bit. Between these two frames, I need to have her get into this position, so I will have her closer to the green one than not. So it'll be, again, like a more ease out, I guess, motion to her. And then kind of stretch her out because she's falling. Like an elevator, if you're falling down an elevator fast, you kind of stretch your body out just a little bit. And for here, let's have her, I want to bring her whole body up. I'm going to take, I don't like these, Toon 21, 22, introduce these donut selectors, and I'm just not happy with how hard it is to select them. Because you gotta like select it on the rim, I think. If you select it right on the middle, then you don't select it. So it's like, ah, great. What I do is select it from here and then kind of rotate her back. Yeah. There you go. Okay. That's why it's hard with some animators in puppet style, is that they're gonna... It's hard to tell if it's really if their animation's working or not for the longest time, because like you just might only see if it's like this method, not only see them, you know, get some blocking out, and then eventually, you know, in the last couple days, you know, work, it's like, oh wait, no, how'd you get all of that done? It's like, well, I had everything else pretty much set up, so then all I had left was to set up the cleanup and secondary animations. So there wasn't much more to do to make this work really well. But until you get to, you know, that point, then it's like, oh, well, okay. You know, just kind of trusting that, for a long time, that what you're working on is actually going to work. Just trying to see. I guess what I can do is also kind of rotate the wing into position. So even back here, I can add a couple of keyframes to get it from here to here, maybe. I can add another anticipation or something. Adding keyframes before and after means that I can dictate this particular frame to be able to move. If I'm worried about this other one, so I might have to worry about this one. This one needs to have keyframes too. If I left it open, basically, then it'll stay that same way until there, but there'll be some points like in here where I want to animate it just on this keyframe. But I left that alone, that'll be bad. So this moves up here. So I'll move these over. And then I want this one to be there. Yeah, for here, I want its own wing animation where these guys kind of go down and then back up. So that's the power of like secondary animation and like all this other little bits here. It like makes it just a little nicer. And you see how simple that was. Like that wasn't, you know, I didn't have to draw or, you know, create new drawings or, you know, set up new, you know, whole new systems or anything. It's just like I just kind of tilted it just a little bit. But I followed through what motion was happening and then had it settle into its final resting position. I knew where its final resting position was and then kind of eased it into that by having it before it got into there as it transitioned from this frame to another, having that kind of continue its downward position and then have to go back up. So, little weird tricks like that, huh? Yeah, I think I want to do the eyes again as she opens them back up and then kind of realizes what's in front of her. Readjust to like where they are. She could be like, where are my daughters? Let's check to see. Okay. I was gonna see if I have to do it at her blinks, but I think she's already singing. Her eyes are closed, so don't have to worry about that. Yeah. I mean, we did probably like less than 10 seconds there, so probably like 5 seconds. What is that? 150 divided by 24. What is that? About 6 1/4. That should be 150 minus 30. divided by 24. Did about 5 seconds of animation of just Queen Haven. This is why when you get multiple characters, it gets longer to produce. Because now, guess what? I have to do all of this animation on these guys. So when they say like, oh no, it's you know, when someone says like, oh, can you do like a, you know, it's all less than, you know, 10 seconds of animation. It's like, oh, okay, how many characters are in there? Oh no, 10. It's like, if it's, you know, if it's 5 seconds, you know, times 10 characters, then that's like 50 seconds of animation. You don't really think about it like that, but it's like on every frame, you know, you have to think about it like on every character basis, basically. That this character needs to be animated for 10 seconds, but at the same time, this other character is on screen for 10 seconds as well, so they have their own timeline, basically. So, not only are you doing like this amount of work, you also have to do other characters' amount of work at the same amount, and then this other character is at the same amount. So if they're on screen at the same time, then you have to do that much of work times each other. So, yeah. Thank you, Cookie. Yeah. Obviously, I'm used to this very specific style that I've been working with for years now. So I kind of got used to it and kind of just applying what I'm used to in Toon Boom. So, you're just trying to get good at that. Or just trying to feel out what I exactly want was the big challenge. What took the most time. So once I figured out like what storyboards and like timings I want, I don't know if I showed you this or whether or not you kept going in and out, but I made this music. I guess we can play that for a bit, and then we can kind of. That's about as much as Queen Haven as I'll probably do today, anyway. So I can kind of go through the music again. This is probably still work in progress, but at least just kind of get the generalness of it. Yeah, so it has a nice loop, and it's all super simple. If I wanted to add more, I probably would add. It's pretty simple, and if I wanted to add anything else, I would probably add like maybe more bass or add some more chords into some places. Like, cause obviously I can go into some of these and just, you know, hopefully I can do this. That's the bass. What's going on? I wanted to add another. Oh dear. I think this has been happening earlier today as well. Harp. I think I need to show the other clef. Yeah, I don't know why. Earlier it was adding notes into the guitar bass. So I can see that that's a D and then B. So that creates a nice chord there. So yeah, I can do little bits in there where I can accentuate that or add. Sometimes I like to add multiple instruments that basically play the same notes. So I might like add a new. If it was like more orchestral, I might have like several different types of instruments playing the same thing. Like I might have like a clarinet or oboe play the same thing as like a violin or horn at the same time. So you get different qualities of like you mix a woodwind and a string together to play the same thing, and then you get something nice. Rather than just having only violins and violas, it's like, well, they're all gonna sound, you know, basically the same. So if I add right now an oboe that's playing the same thing as his bass guitar, might sound pretty cool. So maybe we can try that. If I add an oboe, add. Yeah, this will be quick. I'll just add this in right now and see. We'll just see how this sounds like. Whoops, probably a little too low there. It's not even, if it's red, it's not even hearable. So I need to select everything. Tools, transpose, up a perfect octave. And then see that's probably still low. Yeah, okay. U-score is great, but there's still weird limitations even in this one. Some simple stuff like I just want to move this up 2 octaves. It's like, that's still complicated. There we go. Yeah, it's always set to the newer version, so let's just set this back to basic, and then there we go. Hit that, and if I do this with the basic guitar, let's see how that sounds. Okay, let's see with everything. Gonna remove those. And I can, you know, keep mixing that until infinity, but yeah. Get a little bit more of a interesting feel to it now. And yeah, I could just keep doing that with different styles with that, or add more to the orchestral or to these synths, or like add another layer to that, or have different variations and stuff. But yeah, I might actually keep that. That sounds pretty cool. It's a little bit much. Even when I try to tune it down, I try tuning it down and it's still kind of loud, so I probably just want to make it. Something like that. There you go. I think that's, whoop, stop. I think that's nice. Okay. So yeah, I'll probably keep playing with this, and then I have to go back and then animate Pip and Zip doing basically the same thing. So at least I now have a pretty good template of how this is set up. But yeah, because I already got the music somewhat in here, I can kind of see how this plays as well. Yeah. So yeah. Whew. So I will somehow try and finish this tonight. Also have to do the background, which I didn't really have much time to talk about, but it'll probably be in the what's not Zephyr Heights, the Pegasus place in G5, whatever that's called. Get some basic columns and all gold and everything. Maybe get some paintings or something, I don't know, some windows, some sort of reliefs or something, and some nice marble floor or something. So yeah. Yeah, until then, look out for this. I will put this on YouTube Shorts and on Twitter. And then, yeah, so please look out for that. And let's go to toast time. Woo! Yeah, we got some real jazz now. Can't tell. Okay. Looking forward. Thank you. Yeah, it's gonna be a labor of love. This will be probably the rest of my night. Really. Yeah. Does that kind of explain like how much more there is to this now? You know, of just how much more work there is. Jeez. Yeah. Most of it is probably just gonna be doing almost like the exact same stuff as before, where it's gonna be what I animated on Queen Haven. But now that I got that set up, it should be hopefully more smooth sailing, as I don't have to really figure out as much, you know. A lot of it was just experimentation and seeing about the exact keyframes that I needed. But now it's like, okay, this keyframe is the in-between on frame, you know, between here and here, so I can figure it out now. And then whatever kind of special stuff I want to do afterward. But yeah. Whew. See you next stream. Yep, and happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. Yeah. I'm super happy that my mom likes to is agreeable with my content. She always likes seeing all this. She likes to she always likes to like my stuff on Twitter, so I'm always happy. Take care then. Okay. See you then. See you, Ben. Yeah, next week will be the finale. I always do it with a question mark because I don't know. I mean, the Mario Odyssey finale. Because we got to finish that. I think we're really close. I'm not actually 100% sure, but at least it shouldn't take more than 2 streams at least then. I don't know if it's going to be 2 hours or more. I hope it'll be not more than 3. But if we do maybe like a 2-hour stream next time, then it should be more than possible to do that. It's really loud in my ears. I tilted it way down for you, but man, it's wow. It's why is it so loud? You probably can't hear it, but it's blasting into my ears. Hang on. Thankfully with the game, I can kind of set it up and then kind of let it go. I'm not trying to mix together all this YouTube and my radio. But yeah, let's see. Things business is Sunday Stream 1.0.2 is out. I got the link somewhere. Guess I could do it again. I didn't pin the first one. Let me get that for you again. Okay. So boop 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 boop. I can almost I can touch it. I can touch it. That link there is the Sunny's Dream link to play it on itch.io. Fortunately, it's still a PC Mac only game. I would have to recreate it in a completely different game engine to be able to make it work on a phone. So, yeah, it's still there. I guess I can use my other hand. Is this better? Not really. It's just as bad. So click that link in the script, comment, comment chat thing, to play it on your desktop Mac device. Yeah. Again, I would have to like create it in Godot or like Unity or some other type of game engine to make that work on phones. And then it's really complicated to even get that on. I have to like work with basically Google Android to actually set up the create some pins and like do all this other crazy stuff and like become like a registered Apple and Android user or something. Created more policies and stuff. And it's like, no, I just wanted to make a game and just be done. So that's what I got there, is that you can play that. Also, is the goodie bag. You can it is a $1 minimum thing to download it, to be able to get the folder that has all of it. Probably also, if I have time, if I don't explode on Sunday after working long today, I will try to update the itch.io page to make it look a little nicer. But I posted some previews of what the goodie bag looks like on my Twitter post. And I think that's on YouTube. I guess you can look it up on there. And YouTube community, you can look up on what that looks like to see what the what the goodie bag pictures look like with the previews and stuff for the art book and everything. Put way too much effort into that art book, so I would appreciate if you support me. You can support me by getting that goodie bag. You can set up whatever amount you would like, and all of it go back to me so I can work on more fun horse stuff. So yeah, thank you. But yeah, go ahead and check that out, and the goodie bag too. Let's see. Happy 10th anniversary. Thank you. Never thought I would get this far. Especially being this semi-relevant as well. Still feel like a small horse famous person, which never is that good of a thing to really be in first place. But so glad to be here. So glad that people still care. So thank you, really, honestly, thank you. It's been a ride, and then we're still on it. The ride never ends. So yeah, look out for even more and more content from me as I slowly transition, hopefully, back into the movie. I got a comment literally 10 minutes before the stream started saying, "Hey, when's the movie coming?" I was like, yeah. And I explained that because I got a real job, full-time job that's new from last year, and some Midnight Mare stuff here and there, and then Sunny Stream. I was working on the movie somewhere in between those times, between a couple years ago, but yeah, since then I've focused mainly on the game, the Sunny Stream. So now that that's wrapped up, at least with that big update, I'm happy enough to get back to work on the movie again. So, but right now working on this Mother's Day video. So, hopefully by next week I'll start on that. So next week will be the Mario Odyssey stream, and then maybe next stream or next stream or so, somewhere down the line, I'll do another. I'll do a stream for the movie and show some progress, or have you guys help me with some more snake pony designs. Cause I think I made too many snakes that we had some color coding. Except a couple of years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. Star and everyone else in the chat helped me with creating some color designs, some color palettes for like snake ponies. But I think I've used just about all of them in some cases, so in one way or the other. So might need some more, or at least to have a stream where I design some hairstyles, or create some costumes for some of them. Maybe I don't know if I'll do too much animation or really show too much, because I still want to have it be a surprise for you guys. Also, it's kind of hard to really work on it while streaming. I'll be too self-conscious about it, and it's like, no, please. Or if you guys have ideas, it'd be like, no, I can't. Is my personal passion project, so if you guys help me up too much, for any kind of story or big reasons, it's like I can't really, don't want to say no, but I don't want to also accommodate for everything, so it's like, but yeah, that's why it's been kind of hidden, of all my progress that I have been working on. So there has been work on Chapter 7, like several months worth of progress. A handful of shots are animated, and big 3D sets are set up. The first 3D set is complete, and a handful of shots are animated, and yeah, it'll just be me getting back into it and like working on it again. And yeah, I don't know exact timeline because I'm still not able to work full days anymore on this anymore. Like in the past, I was just able to work, 12 hours on this, and now it's like, oh, here's like 4 hours after work that maybe you can muster up, So yeah, it's gonna be weird and then tricky. It'll just be much more slow than what it was, but there has been work on it, so at least I can jump back into that, get into animating again. But yeah, that's where I am. But yeah, hope you guys have been good. Hope this was fun. I will yeah, I think I'll wrap it up now. I can't think of anything else. Yeah, and definitely talked about that. Yeah, if you also want to do long-term support for me, you could do Patreon. Link in the description in the second or so paragraph. I'm yelling over because my music's too loud. If you want to be a patron, do some long-term support, check the link in the description. The minimum is a $1 per month subscription sort of a thing. And you get access to those Derpy movie posts where you can see where I am. We can barely hear the music. Okay. Yeah, I turned it way down so you can hear me, but for me, in my headphones, it's like blaring. Because I could just kind of, there we go. Kind of get it off my ears. Okay. Yeah, I turned it down in OBS, but for right now, my headphones is really loud. Long-term support at Patreon, patreon.com/Yoshi Greenwater. Check it out. And if you want to get the goodie bag, that's also a one-time payment. I'll also have the, if you also become a patron, you can get the goodie bag for free. I put that as an attachment in one of my posts. So if it's weird that if you pay and subscribe to be on Patreon, then with your payment, that means you can then get the goodie bag for free. That's the way I set it up. So otherwise you have to pay for it anyway. So it's paid anyway. No, but anyway, so yeah. Also, thank you for 28,000 subs. It's probably going up and down as we talk. But it's right on 27,999 and 28,000. So thank you so much for the great support on YouTube subs. I think the number in the top left on the main screen was like 27,900 or something weirdly low. For some reason it doesn't, that little thing doesn't update as well, or it isn't getting the accurate information. But on my YouTube studio, it'll probably bounce around, it'll hover around 28,000. So thank you super much for that. Finally getting big numbers again. We're getting there. So yeah, thanks for all the super support on the I guess my shorts have actually blown up a little bit. I know, I guess I can check right now. One of my shorts got like 40,000 views or something. I can check real quick. Oop, I got 28,001 now. Was it the Valentine's Day one or the other one? Let's see. Guess I can check shorts. Okay, here we go. Guess you can check this out too. But yeah, my Hearts and Hooves Valentine's Day got 42,000 views just on YouTube Shorts somehow, and my St. Patrick's Day got 10,000, and the other two that I got are 1,000. So, but yeah, I've been getting a whole bunch of new people and new supports and a lot of subs, a whole bunch recently by doing that. So, thank you for that. That worked out. So, I'm glad that I'm finally able to get my content back up by doing shorts, which works out for me because I like doing these 10-second animation loops anyway. So I'm happy to deliver. So so yeah, thank you so much for that. It's probably just some weird algorithm thing, like the Derpy test probably wasn't meant to be that good of a video. Wasn't probably supposed to be that shareable, but some glitch in the YouTube made it seen by millions and millions of people somehow. So, but yeah, either way, thank you so much for that. If you watched those shorts, I will get this one out, and then you'll have one more to to watch and like. So, yep. Okay, let me put that down. Okay. I will. Yep, I think I'll wrap this up now because I think I'm a bit hungry. So, thank you. I'm happy. Let's see. Thank you again. It's been amazing. Thanks for 10 years and 20,000 subs. Almost in the same time span. So, but yeah, thank you. I'm seeing a lot of hearts freaking out. What's going on? That's new. I don't know what that was. Oh, hi. Okay. That's really cute. Oh, wow. Where's that coming from, though? I don't see it. It's definitely not showing up in the YouTube capture. Well, that's really cool. Where did it come from? What even is going on? I've never seen that before. Freaking out. That's really cool. Who, Cookie, is that you? So I was gonna wrap it up, and now I'll never know. Oh, jeez, what are these? Is it from? What is it from now? I'm just seeing a whole bunch of emojis just come out of the ethos. This is crazy. Is that a new feature? Because it's a little weird. What is going on? Thank you. I appreciate it, but I don't know what this... yeah, I appreciate it. Huh. I'm just more baffled by it now. Like, how is this working? Huh. It's not super... I thought it was like a super chat or something. Like a donation or something. Weird. Doesn't seem to be. So I'm not sure now. I don't know what this is. Okay. We're gonna have to emote this better. Yeah, I think I'll wrap this up now. So, let's get happy. Let's get happy. Let's see. Can't get my eyebrows off. Oh, not bad. Oh, it was on. There we go. Numblock was on. Anyway, thank you. See you, Cookie. See you, everyone. Thanks for the interesting emojis coming out of there. I'll have to look up what that is. That's new to me. So, thank you again. All right, see you guys. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for all the support. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, till next time. All right, see ya.